some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah, hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
It's still on you.
That's great. I love that's what we're starting the night off on.
Yeah.
That's a great note.
I'm seeing messages coming in through the okay, I'm gonna
try and be in the audience.
Yeah, Donna be in the audience. As I was telling y'all before, today was a pivotal day in American history in the mid-70s. It's also D-Day, but the day in the mid-70s that changed history, it was the dark of the moon on the 6th of June in Kenworth pulling logs, a cab over Pete with a reefer on, and then Jimmy hauling hogs.
You know, I actually have that on a 45.
I can't tell if that's
somewhere.
my internet connection or I can't tell if that's my internet connection or you were just talking stupid. Because you roboted.
Well, it's the night Convoy happened.
Hey,
In the song.
Hey, Donna.
Yeah.
Oh dear. That
Dan,
cheered me up a bit.
Dan, when did you figure out what I was talking about?
About the third word in the lyrics.
The dark of the moon.
I could see McCall there just
well, you roboted
jabbering
on me, so
away.
I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And Dan, it was the change because that song kicked off the CB craze.
I know.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've had a CB in just about every vehicle I have owned since that day.
Yeah.
They're not always useful, but you roll up on a rolling roadblock and you go, click.
No, Zachary.
Anybody know which lane I need to be in to get out of this mess? And then you just wait for responses.
Another duck that can't swim. Yeah, it's called a goose. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, Chris, you saw the video of what happened on I-75 today.
The fireworks, yeah.
What happened on I-75 today?
Right before you go up White Oak Mountain into Cleveland. Pickup truck hauling a trailer loaded with fireworks caught fire.
Oh, fuck.
At least it wasn't cylinders of acetylene. I have seen that once in my life. I never want to see it again. That's dangerous. A welding truck catching fire.
Yeah. No, this was Wow.
This is probably a 16, 20-foot trailer.
Yeah. It wasn't enclosed. Now it's
Now it's a convertible.
Now it's a charred
Scrap.
wreck.
now it's scrap iron.
I'm surprised you're not there trying to pick it up off the side of the road to get down to
That's a little
the
bigger.
recycle center.
The fire department was on scene probably 150 yards back going,
I ain't getting close to this. No.
Yep.
We call it hazmat and the bomb disposal squad. We ain't got enough hoses to reach that far.
I mean, they could have tried to put a little water on it, try to kill
what hadn't exploded yet.
Yeah.
Well, there was still a lot of smoke. Of course, traffic was behind the fire trucks.
It closed down both lanes of 75.
There should have been 3 there.
Yeah.
Who you calling a human, program?
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, Dawn ought to show up. No, Dawn's already shown up.
Sorry, showed up. Hey, Dawn.
Sorry, when my neck pops, I think I've just summoned Dawn for some reason.
Yeah. I figured it was a trailer because, like a pull behind trailer, not a
Yeah, it was a pull behind.
not a semi.
What?
Yeah, but it burned up the back end of that truck.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Well, it was a flatbed.
It was a nice looking truck too.
Was the operative word.
Yeah, I said was. I'm sure his insurance is going to go up considerably.
Mm.
If
Oh,
he's
yeah.
allowed to get it.
D-Day has meant that Lindsay has been watching documentaries for the past 3 to 5 days. And oh God, she ran across one guy that was talking about being part of the glider missions that hauled the 3-man British tanks behind enemy lines on D-Day and a few days later. And there was some guy at LibertyCon that told her, no, a glider can't haul a tank. Well, but it's a matter of historical record.
In the air, it can.
It's a matter of historical record. Plus, her dad was a radio operator in one of those 3-man tanks. It was parachute dropped out of a glider on D-Day into France. And the man was a minister in later life. I have no reason to doubt his word when he told his war stories.
No.
Well, Nick talked about on Fat Electrician or Fat Files about the some guy. Oh, Bazooka Joe or
Bazooka Joe, yes, in a spotter plane strapped recoilless rifles to the spotter plane, which was basically just a crop duster. And went out and shot up German tanks.
Piper Cub, that's what he originally trained to be to go into Europe.
Yeah,
was glider pilot.
Now the weird thing was, Lindsay's dad was in the paratroop division from Portsmouth, England. They were hauled across the English Channel inside a glider. My second wife's dad was a glider pilot on D-Day, hauled across the English Channel by a bomber, hauling God knows what. And I'm going, I wonder if those two fathers-in-law ever met each other.
Possibly.
They did without knowing.
Wouldn't that have been great?
Yeah.
They did without knowing, most likely.
Oh, and actually, Lindsay's dad wound up in Carl's Somerton Man book. It's just a guy the Somerton Man met in a bar that had survived D-Day because his story about the airdrop and surviving two different tanks being blown out from under him during the fighting. It was just so colorful. I couldn't forget it, and I kept talking it up. We've actually got his. I don't want to call it a diary, but it's just his notes from that time. It's just such a wonderful story. It shouldn't be allowed to go completely silent after all these years.
Yeah, the soldiers coming up today, they don't keep diaries.
With the car alarm going off. Sorry.
Not officially.
I mean, if anything, they just record a video on their cell phone for.
Yeah. for Twitch. Still photographs for Instagram. Hold my canteen and watch this.
Yeah. I was wondering, how would D-Day have gone if we had the thought and technology, well, not technology, but the ability to do what we did in Iraq?
It would have been a totally different world.
Of this.
I got a feeling there wouldn't have been that many Germans in the hardened bunkers with artillery pieces
left
pointed down at the beach, left before we actually got there.
I mean, roll the battleships just right at the horizon and just turn them loose. Or just running gun down the coast at the horizon.
That and the bombers. I mean, seriously, could you imagine a stealth bomber dropping cluster munitions on the German defenses along the top of that cliff?
They wouldn't know what to do.
There wouldn't have been nothing left to do. It would not have been a cliff. It would have been a gentle slope.
Yeah. Well, that was like the one that was it the Iowa that a Korean
temper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, temper. I don't want to see that mountain.
Well, there were 4 battleships in the Iowa class. The Iowa, the Missouri, the New Jersey, and the
Texas.
Yeah, no, Texas was previous class. Damn it. I think North Carolina was another class as well. Wisconsin actually had a nose piece from a class that was going to be developed after the Iowa class, but when they saw how effective aircraft carriers were, that became the
last one.
Priority for the Navy as opposed to the battleships.
Well, they're reactivating the old birds.
For what reason?
For what reason?
Superiority.
for
Well,
superiority.
number one, the Iraqis were more afraid of the battleships than they were anything else in the U.S. arsenal.
That shows how much sense they have. If they're not afraid, of the Enterprise sitting there, they ain't got
Well,
much damn sense.
when you got 16-inch shells that can go several miles inland,
20 miles.
and each of them
Mm.
weigh about 2,500 pounds. Yeah.
Look, if you
And they make a loud boom.
absolutely positively have to throw an entire used car lot at some place on land, battleships is the way to go.
Now, some of them even have been upgraded to fire a limited number of cruise missiles.
Oh yeah, and then there's the missile
Using
frigates that
tomahawks.
have more than a limited supply.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys have lots of. Oh, don't even get me started on submarines because you don't know what those missiles has got on them.
Well, that's another reason why they didn't have the battleships, other than they were actively patrolling in the Atlantic and Pacific, as
Yeah.
the Germans' U-boats were.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
particularly dangerous.
one reason is they really don't want to use the submarines
Yeah.
is because if you have a bunch of missiles released from a submarine,
Mm-hmm.
Russia's going to go, oh shit, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
they're conventionals. They're falling
Russia's
short.
not trigger happy
Yeah.
on like anything though, isn't it? Isn't Russia?
Well, I mean, seriously, they've still got that automatic system that will launch nukes if
Yeah.
certain
If it senses probably.
specific sites stop
Yeah.
broadcasting their "please don't
Yeah.
fire" signal.
Yeah.
Oh.
The concept of mutually assured destruction is still
Very relevant.
a thing.
Yeah, but a lot of people have started to ignore it, which is a very stupid thing to
Yeah,
do.
well, some of the people ignoring it don't have any sense.
Some of the people that are ignoring it no longer are drawing breath.
That too.
That
So, yeah.
electrician is a great resource for historical perspective
Oh yeah,
I
and he
love
definitely does,
and cultural perspective, for that matter.
and he doesn't sugarcoat it.
no.
Oh no, not at all. And he does deep dives into stuff. I mean, who thought the Memphis Bass Pro Shop had something to do with Indian spirit guides and a crystal skull?
Yeah, that freaked a bunch of people out.
And it's still factual.
As long as they don't nuke the fridge. That's what I call
okay.
them. That's what I call the movie equivalent of jumping the shark.
Have you ever been trapped inside a fridge? It might be nuke proof.
I don't.
Hey,
feel
if
it.
it's a 1920s Frigidaire, it's safe. Except you will die if there's not a nuke to blow the door off of it to let you out.
Yeah. I am willing to suspend my disbelief for movies up to a point.
Well, anytime they bring in
That
crystal
was-
skulls and shit, that's
that
that's
was
the point.
The other one was Mission Impossible 2. There's no way any physics would allow that helicopter to survive in that tunnel for as long as it did before it finally crashed and exploded. That was the only movie I seriously considered going back and asking for my money.
Chris, Was that not a Tom Cruise movie?
That wasn't a Tom
Yes,
Cruise.
but that was more
Why are you
bullshit
giving
than
your
most
movie?
of them.
Why are you giving your money to Tom Cruise?
Because at the time it was
The
interesting.
same reason why you give it to Johnson and Johnson, even though they supported the Nazi Party.
Well, I
Well,
will tell you,
there are lots of others.
Bayer,
You wanted to use
Bayer
Bayer
out.
aspirin.
day that's just probably popular.
all right,
One
enough of that.
Yeah, they
Kodak.
supported the Nazi Party, but
Fanta.
Something that's guaranteed to survive.
No,
on
Fanta.
businessmen and money.
Was it Fanta or was it Knee High?
Fanta.
It was Fanta, but what the reason Fanta came about is Coca-Cola says you're not getting any more of our syrup. German says we want cola. They said make your own.
wait, serious?
That'd be like telling somebody to come up with Colonel Sanders' secret recipe of 7 different spices while he was still alive, because you might get a chair thrown at you and shot. Colonel didn't mess around.
If
Now-
not shot, then have a chair thrown at you.
The one film that I was surprised pleasantly with Tom Cruise, even though it was stupid, he was hilarious in Tropic Thunder as the agent.
Did we actually commit the mortal sin of being political here? I was unsure when we crossed
I
that
didn't
line.
know if anyone was.
No, we were just quoting Nick.
Okay,
The-
okay. I didn't want to say anything about what's going on in the here and now because we all
Yeah.
know
Uh,
that's an iffy subject that we should.
we were talking history.
Did
Yeah.
your wife watch The Longest Day?
No, she was watching documentaries that actually featured a few of the D-Day survivors, and there are not that damn many left.
Now I will give it to them, Hollywood, that those particular type movies and a few others were made overly long because they don't normally do that. But if they felt like the subject matter was enough interest to the public, that they would make those movies. Now,
Now,
the one that was hard for me to watch that was overly long was Giant.
the one that really got to Lindsay the most was a D-Day veteran with the purple beret, which was her father's unit beret. And it was just, I walked out there and I'm going, what is going on? And she's going, this guy might have known my dad. And I'm going, well, yeah, it was D-Day. A lot of people knew each other, but a lot of people didn't. He's in the same damn unit as your dad. I'd be willing to bet money that they had met. But
At the very least, knew each other in passing.
yeah.
Now, Dan, you were talking about the survivors. You got to realize
there ain't many left.
And the youngest Pearl Harbor survivor
100.
would be 100.
Military survivor.
Yeah.
There might have been some kids on the island that were just barely young enough to know what was going on.
Yeah. But
I'm not trying to dispute your point.
Yeah, the military all of the crew of the Arizona are gone. And
Very
most
Amongst the
simple.
survivors.
yeah, and most are in the survivors are entombed at the Arizona.
Mm-hmm. Some of them probably
Do they have
requested.
a special ceremony for that? I hope they do.
Yeah. They say it's rough for observers.
I would imagine so. I mean, there's so much raw emotion there.
I mean
Past, future, and present.
the urn is given military. I mean, it's almost a military honor, and it's handed to
I wouldn't have even said almost. It is.
yeah. The divers that take it down salute it.
Absolutely. Excuse me, I'm about to cry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emily, it didn't mean to disappoint your image of my manhood, but some things.
Everyone cries. What the fuck are you talking about? It's
Some things really strike home.
And Korean veterans are deep into their 80s.
Yeah. That was one reason I wrote Tom Darby the way I did in the books you haven't been allowed to read yet because the publisher hasn't come out with them. Of course, he has access to time travel and reincarnation, so. I can't wait for those three to come out. I've got a fantasy novel that I've got to finish writing. I've got the fantasy novel, and I've got more Marinebrium stories, and then I'm through waiting 5 to 12 years for a book to come out that I've already finished. I've got to get myself a Lulu.com account. Hell, I might even get my Westerns out that away.
I don't know.
You didn't know I wrote Westerns, did you?
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, now you was talking bad about Don Cruise. Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Would you believe there is a bill that has passed the House and the Senate and has been signed because of Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
And what would this bill happen to be?
The Maverick Act.
Okay.
Sounds theatrical.
The Congress has given the Pentagon authority to reactivate 3 F-14s.
Excuse me. Could you clarify, please?
They got retired.
Well, yes, I assume that. They have now permission to reactivate
3
F-14 Tomcats?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Is the Middle East in trouble?
No, they're strictly show planes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ted worked on F-1.
Ted worked on F-14s when he was in the Navy. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Ted has even more of my respect than he ever did before.
Thank you for
Yeah.
That is not an easy plane to work on. It's a very complicated piece of equipment.
Yeah. The swing
Well,
wings
then
are not something that's mass produced very often anymore.
everything is now a very complicated piece of equipment. Um,
Oh, in one of
Most of them
Kennedy's
still have.
overlooked, one of the Kennedy's overlooked speeches, because it actually happened on November 22nd of 63. The speech before he got in the motorcade,
yeah.
talking about he's authorized Congress to provide funding for a new naval aircraft with variable pitched wings.
So they have 14.
It didn't even have a name at the time.
But that's what it turned into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll be reactivated from the boneyard.
Yeah.
Um,
Most of them were destroyed.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want the technology going to other nations.
No, for Iran.
Yeah.
To prevent Iran from getting spare parts.
Yeah. Because they probably bought some when the Shah was in power.
Yeah, that's when they got.
That was a different government, though.
I know, but that's the reason why they were destroyed, because after he lost power.
After the Shah was out of power, they didn't want the
Ayatollah to get them.
Exactly.
We didn't need the Ayatollah to get them either.
Well, I assume the Ayatollah got his sooner or later.
He died of old age, and then
the original
took over. Yeah.
Well, not the original Ayatollah, but that dude. During the overthrow, died of old age, and his son took the role.
Oh, what a disappointment!
And eventually Rafsanjani took over, and then Rafsanjani left power, and I'm sure one of the grandsons or nephews or cousins or whatever took over after that.
Yeah. Son of the 15th wife or whatever. Yeah.
Anyway.
Ancestry DNA must be very, very complicated in the Middle East.
Oh, you don't even know the fucking half.
Oh.
I mean, I get notices from Ancestry DNA about every 3 months that, hey, they've got a new match for me. I might possibly be related to my mother. You think?
One would hope.
You want the kill
Well,
I'm just saying.
Dan, this video is from Cameron Parker, giving him credit.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy, the local foodie critic, going around to all the local small restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the fireworks truck fire.
Okay. I thought you were going to make a joke about Don's Tacos, but
Fireworks truck? I guess so. Oh.
They're not even trying to throw water in that direction.
No. The blue
need to be
touch
spraying
paper's
water
been
on
lit. All you got to do is stand well back.
This is crazy.
They need to be spreading
It's a
water
month
on the damn
early, but
medians.
you know.
Need to make sure the damn grass and the medians don't catch fire.
Is this the grand finale?
They're still under drought.
I'm hoping there's not a gas truck somewhere around there. You know, a tanker truck of some kind hauling
Both lanes
gasoline.
of I-75
I don't need the price to go up another
completely-
65 cents a gallon because of a bunch of stray fireworks.
But yeah,
Well,
that was
33 cents. 33
that
cents
was
was the price
somewhere
increase.
around mile marker 8 or 9.
I'm sure when I come up that way, I'll still see the charcoal on the median.
Oh yeah,
The gas
That
tax
grass is not going to
moratorium
grow back
expired.
very quick.
no. Well, at least the fire department was on scene to put it out. Before it got
Excuse
too
me.
far.
How long did it take for them to put it out?
They just waited for it to die.
Further deponents say it's not.
Chris knows how my backyard is sort of laid out. On the other side of that little neighborhood is another neighborhood, directly behind me. And there was like a garage shed caught fire. Police were running through my neighborhood. Everybody stay inside, stay away from the windows at the back of the house. Try to move towards the front of the house. Because you could hear ammo cooking off.
Jane done blew up the meth house again. Oh. I'll be glad when that's no longer a viable joke.
Yeah. I told you when they was testing the F-22 Raptors around here.
Yes, indeed.
We were up world's longest yard sale, Emily.
Really?
And one of those little Raptors flew by and created a sonic boom. There was an old man sitting at his table selling, at the yard sale, just a whittling. That thing went boom. He didn't flinch. He didn't jump. Everybody went, "What the hell is that?" And he said, "Is he one of them damn airplanes or Jimmy blew up the meth lab again?"
Yep, definitely. Usually my lab.
I mean, he was so used to it, it didn't even bother him.
Hey, it's an everyday thing. Back when I was living in East Tennessee, and we were not that far from Knoxville or Oak Ridge, there were supersonic planes flying by all the time. About once a week, there was this window rattling sonic boom. And I'm talking about houses that were built in the 1920s. Window rattling. So the window glass had ripples in it because they had not figured out how to get it perfectly smooth yet up in the mountains. And everybody's going, "What's that? What's that?" Nobody had an answer except I'm sitting there after watching Captain Scarlet and Commando Cody and Thunderbirds and going, "Yeah, that's just a plane breaking the sound barrier. Don't worry about it." They're going, "You're 11. How are you supposed to know this stuff?" I'm going, "Dad works at Oak Ridge. Why would I not know it?"
I don't even think Chris, when were you born?
1970.
What, 70?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Okay, well, you were too young to remember it. But at the time, people in Chattanooga didn't know what it was. But every day, Monday through Friday, at 4:05 in the afternoon, people thought it was a sonic boom, but it shook the ground. It was where they were blasting the mountain to create Raccoon Mountain Pump Storage Project.
Mm.
Sounds about right.
I thought you were going to say it was John playing with Serious Putty.
Well, it was serious, but it was Ampho what they were using.
Yeah.
I mean, Daddy was working there, late 70s. He was waiting on a guy to come up. He was up on top of the mountain. And, one of the TVA police roll up, ask him, what's he doing up here? He says, I'm waiting on, so-and-so. We work down in the mountain. He goes, what's his name? He's all right. He got on the rail, said something. Oh, yeah. Okay. So he's on the way up in the elevator. All right. It's all clear up here. You can go ahead when he gets off the elevator.
Maybe a couple of steps away from the elevator would be nice.
Daddy said all of a sudden the ground started shaking. And he looked way out and just saw the mountain rip open and just rocks flying. He was probably, half a mile away. It's like, whoa. So that's what that is.
Yeah. I was rolling through University of Georgia campus on one of the back roads back in the 70s. They were doing some construction, and there was a sign that said, turn off your CB radios because you might accidentally cause an explosion. So I reached down, turned off my CB radio. There was an explosion. I put my foot down and the four-barrel opened up and I got to the connecting road a little bit faster than I was scheduled to because I wasn't sure whether I had accidentally set off that explosion or if I just turned mine off just at the opportune time for them to blow something up.
You turned it off at the absolute perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say, I didn't turn it back on, say breaker 19 for about 2 weeks.
You ain't gonna take no chances.
I was afraid of making something blow up before it was supposed to. And I wasn't even in the same county anymore. I had to start locking my car in my mom and dad's driveway so my little brother wouldn't get out and start talking to New York on my CB radio, which had happened before. And we're down in North Georgia, and it was mostly because the guys in New York had this huge overpowered CB radio. So they were able to hear people from far away and talk to people from far away. And my little brother has always been one of those inquiring minds that want to find out how everything works and why everything works. Fucking genius, but how did I get skipped?
Well, I've told you the story about when Dad was shooting Skip one night. See, Emily, on CB, you're not supposed to be able to talk more than 10 miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this guy on there, loud radio.
Yeah.
Nome, Alaska.
Yeah. That's
So
definitely
everybody-
more than 10 miles from Chattanooga.
So, you know, people were looking at their maps and aiming their CB beam radios and all that. And Daddy kept hollering for him. Finally, he came back and he said, I sure wish I could talk to Chattanooga, but we're not supposed to talk more than 10 miles away. But Lord, you got a loud radio. Basically, just confirm, okay, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. I can hear you, but I hear you.
That's why I bought that amplifier from the Who and figured out how to wire it into the radio system. Basically, that's about what the guys in New York were doing. They had a radio shop.
Yeah.
They were selling CB radios, and they had something wired up that was, I mean, there were so many amplifiers in there. Hell. Most rock bands didn't have that many amplifiers on stage. And this guy's talking to my little brother near Athens, Georgia. So you can imagine how far New York is from Athens. And they were carrying on a conversation. I didn't have a powerful radio in my car.
You just hit it the right way.
It was just pointed. It was just one antenna with the point kind of kinked up where I'd locked the keys in the car, and I had to pull the CB antenna off and use it as a coat hanger to open the damn door several times.
Well, Daddy, you know, he don't have any radio equipment anymore.
That you know of.
Well, he don't have any radio equipment anymore. If you're looking, he doesn't have it now, but he had a 3,000 watt linear.
Well,
I've listened to commercial radio stations with less power.
Yeah. Well, what was so funny is when we moved in here, Chris, about the back end of where my wood building is, about 20 feet out from the wall used to be a pine tree. I had me an antenna run up that tree. I had what they called a modulator. I'd key up, it would key up 3 watts. I would talk, it would swing to like 500. And CB is AM, which means amplitude modulation.
Yeah, how you communicate with submarines underwater.
Yeah, it's the swing that throws the signal better. There were all sorts of people around through here we have what was called radio races. Daddy got on there one night and he was going, ain't nobody can walk all over me. I keyed up and I said, tell him, Taco. Daddy unkeyed and Taco went, I hate to tell you this, but your son just stomped on your head. You might want to brush your hair. Oh, that made my dad mad at me.
I imagine so. But yet you're still alive.
Surprisingly.
Hey, a good hill's worth 1,000 watts in a heartbeat. Why do you think they put radio station antennas on top of mountains?
Mm-hmm. You know, I can't even pick up 96 Rock anymore.
They're not 100,000 watts anymore.
That kind of explains it, but I'm still only 90 miles away.
96 Rock as we knew it, Dan, does not exist.
Well, I know that. They're probably a hip hop station again.
Hits pop music.
Oh,
You're talking about your station. We're not in the Chattanooga. We're talking about the one in Atlanta.
we're talking about the one from Atlanta.
Yeah, they're both running the same format, owned by the same people.
Yeah, that's the way everything is now.
And that's still a small company.
And that's so they don't have to pay on-air personalities because they're cheap bastards.
Well, I remember when they fired a few on-air personalities for having a personality,
Yeah.
and being practical jokers, or as Joe Dog would call it, smartasses.
Well, they said one thing you can bet on in working in radio, you could be fired tomorrow.
You're replaceable, yep.
Oh, there was one guy that I was listening to in the factory. Is one of the few close radio stations I could pick up through the giant Faraday cage that was that big drafty metal barn. And his station shifted from, hey, we'll play anything, anytime, to, oh, we're now, well, at one time it was golden oldies, and another time it was hip hop. And I caught him on there, and he's doing the request line for stuff. And I called him up through one of the phones inside the factory, because this was pre-cell phone, and he had just shifted from a country block to a hip hop block, and got him on the phone. I said, "Yeah, did you know there's a new mix between country and rap? Have you ever heard of that one before?" He goes,
Yes,
"No."
I
And I
have.
go, "They call it crap."
Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
I saw that one coming.
Well, he didn't. I mean, guy like to fell out of his damn chair laughing. He asked me what I wanted him to play, and I don't remember what I requested. It's probably Grand Funk Railroad or something like that. In the middle of the rap set, which probably would have went over real well with the people in Atlanta, but I doubt they could hear it.
Well, there was one station that came on the air and they said, we're not going to play anything newer than 1985. So they started out with Men at Work, Land Down Under.
Oh, God, that's controversial.
Now, think about it. We're not going to play any songs newer than 1985. Then they played Men at Work. I'm like, Now, just a damn minute.
That was
That was
MTV
pre
era.
1985.
Yeah, it's pre 1985, but damn it.
Well, if it's not getting newer than 1985, then that would mean 1985 is the limit. It would have
Yeah.
to be pre 1985.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they got sued over that one. Every time that
what?
song gets played, they have to pay somebody
Dan,
for
you
the
first.
rights to Kookaburra Sits in an Old Gum Tree. Seriously, they have to pay somebody if somebody plays Land Down Under.
Hold on a
They
minute.
don't get paid for it. They have to pay.
Hold on. Let me get it queued up. Well, you remember Confederate Railroad? The band
Yeah.
Confederate Railroad?
Yes.
No.
Remember when the guy whistled the theme from the Andy Griffith song?
Oh my God. Copyright violation.
Yeah, they actually had the record label started sending out, please stop playing this song. And the bad thing is, Confederate Railroad's a Chattanooga band.
Yeah.
So we heard all the stories.
Now,
And
being
at the time, the guitarist lived right down the street from me. We hung out when he was in town.
living in Athens at the time period I did before I actually bought the house and got out of Athens into the next county. I could show up at a house party in Athens and see REM and the B-52s and several other bands that made it big for free. Matter of fact, there is a newspaper photograph of something that happened at one of those house parties. There were too many people on the front porch dancing to the band in the backyard.
And it fell.
The porch collapsed. Like 70 people fell with the porch.
Shit. That's a lot.
I'm standing there with my toes hanging over the edge of what collapsed. And suddenly I'm doing my best Spider-Man impression, clinging to the wall 6 feet above the damn porch.
All right, I got to run down the hall.
Oh, 1970s was a great time to be alive musically, especially in a such a musically diverse area as Athens, Georgia. There were lots and lots and lots of bands that came out of that period that toured there regularly, even if they weren't based there. Love Tractor was based there. Spumatoids was one of those pickup bands where they had people from 4 or 5 different bands in a club and jam together. Oh, Dawn. Good night, Pinky Wiggles, and think cool thoughts.
Good night, Dawn. The sock will miss you.
She won't miss the sock.
Yeah.
If she's overheated, putting the sock on her arm would definitely flip her over the edge by several degrees. No, I went to one of my art professor's art shows at the university, and there were half a dozen people there from REM. No, from B-52s, and they were doing random number generator stuff with the synthesizer and a guitar. Nobody was playing it. It was leaned up against an amp. They were using the feedback from the guitar through the synth, through the random number generator to change the pattern. And not only was it really neat music, and it was totally random music, but it's the first time I ever understood my professor's artwork, because he would just slather entire tubes of paint on a 6 by 6 foot canvas, and then stand it up in the shower and turn the water on, and let the color bleed into the canvas, and then put it on display. It was an amazing thing of how colors blend together.
Depending upon the paint he was using.
Well, he was very avant-garde for the 70s. It was all right.
That's kind of when that period took off, wasn't it?
Yeah, really. Apparently, just before the show, I had missed everybody in REM showing up to shake his hand and thank him for all this other stuff. So it was just the B-52s doing the random music. Didn't see Freddie at all, but I saw the two girls.
There was the treat.
Oh, tell me about it. Lindsay and I still go to it's called Junk in the Trunk. It's basically a
swap
one
meet.
Of those. Not quite a swap meet. It's more of a consignment store sort of thing, where you've got little booths with 10,000 people selling stuff. And I think it's Kate that shows up there regularly. Have yet to see her there. Not that I will recognize her these days.
Well, she's pretty, but I don't think I'm the right gender for her attention.
Well, I don't care. Not trying to attract her attention.
But yeah, she's lovely to look at, and her voice is nice too.
Oh yeah,
Cindy as well.
Yes, definitely. Was it Cindy that was working with oh God, now I can't remember his name.
Michael Stipe.
No. The song was Candy Candy. It was not Ian Drury. Oh bugger. One of those guys that would have been able to hang out with some of the folks from New York, Lou Reed, and whatnot. Andy Warhol, yeah, that sort of crowd. But okay, I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm not gonna let it rest until I figure it out.
You know anything they sing on their own?
They had an entire band.
Brian Ferry?
Oh no, way too.
Well, it has been amazing talking.
One of the guys from Hanoi Rocks?
But I've got delicious ribs.
Okay, evidently I didn't do the search correctly, because I'm getting Candy Crush references.
Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking about Bow Wow Wow.
Iggy
Wow Wow
Pop.
Candy. Do what?
Iggy Pop.
Oh, Iggy Pop. Yeah. The man against shirts.
Well, if you were built like that, would you put a shirt on?
I don't
Iggy
know.
Pop and Kate Pearson.
Yeah. Iggy Pop makes a lot of sense now.
What
Oh, yeah.
happened to Emily?
She
Um,
she was yawning.
Uh,
I don't know if she left completely or.
yeah, she's gone. She's
Well, I suppose it was me talking about classical music.
uh,
No, I saw her yawning, and I yawned a little bit before she did. So, unfortunately, that crap's contagious. So,
Mm.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, if we can't make it another 30 minutes, just hit end stream and
I did go watch Masters of the Universe today. I really enjoyed it.
is that a remake of the Dolph Lundgren?
Yes,
Okay.
it's based upon the cartoon and the 87 movie, I think. Might have been 86. I'm not sure. Somewhere in there.
Was it
Somebody
any
said
good?
Dolph. Somebody said Dolph Lundgren makes a cameo.
Yes, he has a cameo in it.
Was it any good?
I enjoyed it. There were a few things about it that if I really wanted to nitpick, I could. But, for the most part, it was an enjoyable
No,
passage of time.
I'm glad to hear that. I might give it a chance. Not going to a theater, but
As much as they gave the one in the 80s a hard time, I really enjoyed the one in the 80s. And I enjoyed James Tolkien being in it.
it was a
James
decent
Tolkien,
movie
for
for
those
the
who
period.
James Tolkien, who, if people aren't aware, was the one that played the principal in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
He played the detective in this one.
Mm,
And I thought
okay.
Chelsea Field made a very attractive Tila back in the 80s version.
Guess what I found at a thrift store today?
A hurricane lamp.
An uncensored Criterion Collection copy of The Wraith.
Oh, nice.
Yes. I mean, I've seen it online several times, but didn't
That
want to
was
wear out
before.
my welcome in a site that I was not a member of. But now I got a DVD.
Well, that was better than my answer, Dan.
I'm sure.
Yeah. What? Guess what I found at the thrift shop today? Tetanus.
Um,
I don't let anything pierce my skin at the thrift shop. Sorry.
Sometimes you can't help it.
the Wraith was a very underrated but enjoyable film.
Yeah,
Wasn't that
and
Charlie Sheen?
It had Charlie Sheen in it.
Charlie
It had-
Sheen and
It had
Ron's younger brother, who was also in Star Trek.
it also had Clint Howard, Ron's
That's
other
the
brother.
one. Yeah, Ron
Randy
Howard's younger
Quaid was
brother,
in it.
Clint,
Randy Quaid was in it.
as a
And it
sheriff.
also had Nick Cassavetes, who was director John Cassavetes' son, in it. It also had what's the guy's name? I said Randy Quaid. And it also had Sherilyn Fenn before she became really famous for being in Twin Peaks.
Mhm.
Mm.
And it had a really cool car.
Yes, and that was indeed a Chrysler prototype concept car.
Yes. Well, you only saw it as the prototype in the final few scenes.
Yeah.
Before that, it was a complete and total fantasy vehicle.
Yeah. But that was an actual prototype that they used that led to the
Avenger?
well, it had the you remember when they did the cab forward design where they were talking about the cab facing forward, the wheels further towards the corners. It had the LHS coupe and some of the other
Yeah.
four-door sedans.
Yeah, mid-engine design and no back seat because of the mid-engine design.
Well, the passenger cars didn't have that, but yeah, it was a feature of the prototype. And the cool thing about it is it had a pretty good soundtrack as well.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
Oh.
And some marvelous smart-ass remarks by Randy Quaid.
Oh yeah. You remember Randy Quaid's role as the lawyer in Caddyshack 2?
Yeah.
It's sort of a more serious, more hard-ass version of that as the sheriff.
I would concur. Yes, indeed. I would agree. Still
And
hilarious anyway.
yes.
I really
And,
I really liked the roadblock that turned out to be unnecessary because the car became a flying saucer before it ever got to the roadblock.
yeah. Oh, some of those scenes were to be.
Oh, it was just, you had to look at those roads and go, they go straight for 50 miles.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the thing that was coming at you at 300 miles an hour
Mm-hmm.
had vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Unless,
supernatural,
yeah,
but still, that was the backbone of the story.
and left skid marks and a little bit of flame trailing behind it.
Mm-hmm. I never could really figure out until I saw an unedited version why, when there was a car crash, there were these prosthetics thrown out that faded to nothing
Mm-hmm.
in the flames. And then I go, whoa, wait a minute. No, that's finally it makes sense after I saw something unedited.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kid that got murdered first,
Yeah.
and all the injuries that he sustained that he needed the mechanical advantages to be able to function.
Yeah.
But he was already dead, so
Yeah.
it's basically a ghost story with a hot car.
Yep. And the interesting thing is the main bad guy, played by John Cassavetes, was also the lead in Delta Force 3 as the good guy.
Okay, you said Delta Force, but suddenly my brain sidetracked to Mega Force.
Yeah. No, Megaforce is Barry Bostwick in spandex.
Yeah, basically,
with
yeah.
a beard and a headband.
and just as awkward as he was dancing across the stage in Rocky Horror in the what was that sequence called? Oh God,
The
Now
time
I
warp?
now I got to watch Rocky Horror again. Just to,
With
uh,
the time warp?
no, at the end,
Oh,
uh, the floor show.
yeah.
Okay, now that keeps me from having to watch Rocky Horror again for the 10,000th time.
I need to go back and watch Spin City because him and Michael J. Fox before Michael's Parkinson got so bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was some excellent dialogue in there.
Yeah. Um, trying to think of.
You know, guys, we were really, really lucky. We ran across a few eras of some fantastic movies, not only blockbusters,
mhm.
but B movies
Oh yeah.
that were really, really good. That made a lot of A movie stars
Yeah.
just from them being in these B movies.
Well, did you ever? Oh, now I gotta look it up.
Hey, Dan, you guys got a good conversation going. I am about to die on y'all. So I'm going to bow out, just hit end.
And
And
sit around and wait for everything to process.
Yeah.
yep.
Yep, I know the drill.
All right. Thanks for showing up, Chris. Thanks for showing up, Dan.
Um,
Emily, thank you if you're tuning
Oh,
in or whatever.
or watching later.
Yeah. I
yeah.
will.
Emily will always have our
Yeah.
respect.
The movie I was thinking of was Ground Control. It had Kiefer Sutherland and Charles Fleischman in it.
Good
Yeah.
night,
Bye, y'all.
Joe.
See you. Good night, Joe.
I'm trying.
And
You got to hit yes 15 times to be able to leave the show.
but it had him and Ron Leonard and Bruce McGill in it. Like I said, Charles Fleischman had a cameo role or smaller role in it. It was basically where Kiefer Sutherland played a very successful ground controller, air
Mhm.
traffic controller, and there was this eventful flight that had an accident that he was ground controller and control of, and he just kind of it messed him up. And
As it would.
the guy who was kind of managing the thing wanted him to come in for a weekend where they were going to be a little short staffed, and not going to put him on anything major, just
Yeah, right. Foreshadowing.
yeah. I said wasn't going to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that continued, but I won't spoil him. It's one of
Wasn't
those movies.
supposed to, but
Yeah. Well, it's one of those movies.
eventuated eventually, and yeah, there they were.
It's one of those movies that wasn't big budget, all that, but it's one of those where after you watched it, you were glad you did.
Well, yeah, that's one of those actor-driven movies
Well,
where the personalities and the script lined up perfectly to
yeah.
where
Well,
you had
and
this enjoyable time watching, although it was one of those nerve-wracking things for what was going on in the movie.
yeah, but it was like I said, those kind of movies where you don't initially you're kind of curious, but I don't know if it's worth it. But hell, I can't think of anything better to watch right now, so I'll give it a try, and it turns out to being an enjoyable film that you would watch again.
Oh yeah, like Duel with Dennis Weaver or The
Mhm.
Car. Uh, and those are both very, very similar genres.
Yes.
But
And oh shit.
take a minute, you'll think of it. Think
It's
sideways.
Blacktop something or other that Warren Oates was in to begin with, and they did a remake, I think, in the 90s or early 2000s of it.
Oh, that made me think of something totally different. Dirty Mary and Crazy Larry. That was cute right up until the last 5 minutes where they all died.
Yeah. Let's see if I can think of it.
There was something else I wanted to throw in there while we're talking about killer cars and whatnot. Not Killdozer, but although that was pretty
Tulane
frightening.
Blacktop.
Yeah, Blacktop. You were talking about
Tulane Blacktop. Or even Freeway was very entertaining. It had Charlie Sheen in it, and it had Claudia Christian and Ray Wise and Flea and Anthony Kiedis of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Christy Swanson,
there was
Josh
one
Mostel, who was Zero's son.
There was
and
one
Harry
Claudia
Rollins.
Christian movie I will never forget.
The Hidden.
The Hidden. Yes, indeed. You knew exactly what I was going for.
She did not have much screen time, but by
My
George,
God.
she owned
The
it.
screen time she had, she owned it. Oh. That was one of those movies that's hard to wrap your brain around at first, but once you watch it, you kind of understand what's going on. And it kind of led to Twin Peaks in a way.
Well, Kyle MacLachlan was in it, and David Lynch directed the 86 version of Dune, which Toto did the soundtrack, by the way.
Did they do all of the soundtrack?
I think they did.
That's strange. I don't remember anything Toto sounding from watching that.
But Toto were some of the best studio musicians, and they played on literally
You called them studio
thousands.
magicians. I don't think that's wrong.
Yeah. Musicians who were magicians.
I understood it implicitly. Believe me, you were absolutely right on both counts.
Hundreds, if not thousands, of different albums for different artists. Of course, you could get away with that stuff back then because there was somebody always recording back then. Nowadays, record companies are so damn greedy, they only want certain artists spending any time in the studios. And most of the time, they want them to have most of their stuff already worked out through electronics, keyboards, and computers, and MIDI programs, and all that shit.
Which is why you do it the ELO way and do it all in your damn basement before anybody actually picks up an instrument and plays backup tracks.
Yeah. Well, basically do it the Tom Schultz way for Boston.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
and he got away with it at a time when you weren't supposed to get away with it.
Well, it was before anybody knew that it was possible.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where, I mean, if I'd been around back then doing what I do now, good Lord, I might actually be famous. But no, when the recording studio is your best instrument, you wind up making a dent in everybody's perceptions of what is possible in music and performance art.
Well, Tom being an MIT student and graduate, I believe he was a graduate. I know he's definitely a student. Probably had unparalleled knowledge of what different instruments can do and the technology in the studios that can make them get the most out of them.
Well, and probably stretch those limits to something the studios didn't know that they could do.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting if you watch the videos from like I think Rock History Radio's got a good guy that does that. Adam Reeder, the Professor of Rock, and if you listen to some of the stories behind this stuff, even Kickin' Harold, the guy with the cap that does the reels on Facebook and Instagram, you learn so much about what happened, and I just love hearing, even though they're due to strains on relationships and disagreements, Steve Porcaro talking about the stuff that he did when he was with Toto, about how he didn't know how to do it, and he actually learned it by asking, because one of the producers or engineers didn't like it. He said, well, how do I, and he learned how to make the stuff work. So by the time Toto 4 came out, he knew all the tricks to make the stuff that he wanted to happen and sound good.
That reminds me a lot of the era when Lemmy got fired from Hawkwind and formed Motorhead, and it was all Motorhead is all this straight up pounding rock that Lemmy excelled at.
Oh, he was kind of the godfather of thrash metal, wasn't he?
Pretty much, but during Hawkwind, I mean that was all synthesizers and layering and all kinds of things, but he was the driving bass pattern for a lot of the songs. But you had so many creatives in there writing the songs and the lyrics. I mean, and I consider that as two different things: the music and the lyrics, and then a lot of it was improvised on each performance. So you didn't know what settings were going to be on the synthesizer that particular performance, but it all worked out.
Well, I remember reading stuff that Steve Perry talked about in the interview. Most of his songwriting started out with bass.
Oh yeah. Most of mine starts out with a drum track, and it just kind of goes from there. Find a decent drum track, figure out a bass that fits with it, and then try and find everything else that fits in. And sometimes that can take hours.
Well, I mean, even the drums can do a low thing, but the bass is supposed to be the bottom of the melody.
Yeah.
The absolute bottom of it, and everything goes up from there.
Yeah, really. With most bands, the bass player is actually the lead, and the drummer and the lead guitar and everybody else follows from the bass player. That's traditional. Now I worked at it a little bit sideways with my electronic stuff, where I go, oh, this is a great drum track. Let me adjust it a little bit here and there. I've got the entire drum track for the entire thing. Now let me find a bass that goes with it.
Yeah.
And well, it goes.
Your rhythm section, basically, that's what everything's layered upon, because that's your foundation.
If you've got a good bass and drums, You've got a hit if you can get the rest of the layering, the rest of the instruments,
Well,
and
some of the best
the
bands
vocals.
have a rhythm section that's second to none. I mean, Van Halen, Michael Anthony, and Alex Van Halen. ZZ Top, Frank Beard, and Dusty Hill. Rest in peace, Dusty.
And just to be obvious, Atlanta Rhythm section, which is
Mhm.
a little bit softer than those, but
Yeah,
uh,
and
different
basically,
style. That's all.
the Atlanta Rhythm section were the studio musicians for Atlanta when Doraville became a center of Atlanta music and productions. They rose out of the session players that played on a lot of artists' bands.
I've often wondered what would happen if the Wrecking Crew actually got recognition. Excuse me. And people found out just how awesome they were and how many albums they played on, how many albums they made successful.
Well, just think about the Swampers from Muscle Shoals.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Exactly the same thing. Just a
And
different, I don't want to call it a different era, but a different location and mindset.
yeah, I'm a little bummed out.
Different style.
You talking about Atlanta Rhythm section? They're going to be part of a 4-act concert in the Caverns, which is on the other side of Mont Eagle tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
It's them, Firefall, Pure Prairie League, and Orleans.
Oh, that ought to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, really good. Unfortunately, we've run a little bit over time.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say we're going to have to bring it to a close, but I did want to mention that.
Well, we're not going to
rhythm section.
We're not going to wake Dawn up with the SOC. We're just going to go ahead and go into the end credits.
Yeah, high flight.
Thank you very much for being here, Chris. I mean, you and I could talk music for days on end.
Well, we might have to get a little sleep at some point, but yeah, for a good while.
Hey, and I'll sleep when I pass out, and when I wake up, I hope you wake up somewhere near the same time.
Yep.
But
we can continue.
Thank you very much, and
Y'all
everybody that's been watching us, Dawn, Donna, Carl, everybody else. It's too large of a crowd to mention, but thank you. And we shall see you, if not in the chat, on other people's shows through the week, then next Thursday, when we attempt to do this again, Joe Dog or not. And then at LibertyCon, if anybody wants to go to Chattanooga for that. Too bad you can't get a room or a membership now because it's all sold out, but there may be day tickets, who knows. And then Halicon, and we can continue this in person without being recorded.
Yep.
For hours and hours and hours. Thank you, Chris. And
good night, everybody watching.
Good night, everybody. Yes, play the outro.
have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.